You guys ready for Sailor Moon panel? All right, well, we're going to get started in just a minute here, but first I need everybody's cooperation. Normally we got these middle seats for Red Panda Pass holders, but we'd like everybody to move to the center. Move to the center here, and please be polite and courteous as you guys do that. And just some reminders for you. Remember that all of our information is in the Planet Anime program guide, or you can download the Planet Anime app for all the latest updates. Also, Planet Anime is brought to you by the same folks behind Planet Comic-Con. And Planet Comic-Con is coming up on March 8th through 10th, 2024, and tickets are on sale October 26th at planetcomiccon.com. Guys, we just asked for your cooperation. Please, no video or flash photography. If you're going to ask a question, keep it to one question and don't ask for hugs, handshakes, or autographs. You can do that in Celebrity Row out in the exhibit hall. That's where all of our tremendous voice actors and talent would love to meet their fans. That's the place to do it and ask for those things, not here. Finally, to the left of me, we have ADL seating. If you need that, avail yourselves of it. All right, I am your announcer, Scott, and we're going to get started with the Sailor Moon panel in just a moment. So sit back and relax, and we'll be back in a flash. All right, all right. Hey, you guys ready for Sailor Moon? Yeah, we got some Sailor Moon fans, right? All right, hey, let's bring out our host for this panel. She is a big Sailor Moon fan, and she goes by Achiba Wolf on social media. Let's welcome to the stage, Brooke.
Hi, everybody. Is this mic working? How are you guys enjoying Planet Anime's first anime convention this year? All right, I don't think I like that energy. You're going to have to do better than that. Come on, guys. Let's for Planet Anime. Thank you so much. Today, you guys, we have some really cool people who worked on the Sailor Moon franchise for the whole accurate translation that Viz Media produced for us. And I would love to welcome to the stage, which they did not tell me any order, so if I get the order wrong, I'm so sorry. Let's go ahead and get the first Sailor Guardian after Sailor Moon to be introduced to the show, Sailor Mercury, who is Kate Higgins. Please, Kate Higgins, come out. Woo! The Guardian of Love and Intelligence is making her way. How you doing, Kate?
Great.
Awesome. Let's get some of your pals out. What do you say? Let's do it. All right. Who should we bring out first? I want the audience to tell me. Should we bring out Hokusai or Ikuko Tsukino, which is Usagi's mom in the series? Let's hear it. All right, Tara, I think the audience wants you to come out to the stage. Tara Platt, everybody. Usagi's nurturing mom, and often gets mad at her for getting bad grades. All right, Tara, thank you for joining us. And now, one of the villains that I think I shed a tear when Hokusai reached his demise in the Eternal movies. Michael Yurchak, please come out and join these wonderful ladies. How y'all doing?
Hi, everybody.
Good. We're enjoying being in Kansas City. I don't think I've ever been to Missouri before.
Are you serious?
I don't think so.
This is your first time in Missouri?
I think so.
What do you think of it?
The barbecue has been lovely.
Good. I'm so glad.
The people are delightful.
The people are so lovely. We've eaten a lot of animal.
Yes.
And
A lot of animal.
I'm not a vegan. It's a lot of animal.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Midwest.
I came here 20-something years ago for a wedding, And then last night, those friends of mine who got married came and picked me up and took me to dinner. And you've kept them alive, so you keep me alive. I appreciate
so
Kansas
nice.
City. Go Kansas City.
Yeah.
Woo! Go Kansas, go Missouri. Well, so here's what we're going to do today. We're going to kind of just talk to you guys a little bit. I kind of have some questions on what I want to know, like kind of like some behind-the-scenes stuff. Are you guys comfortable talking with some behind-the-scenes and how voice acting actually works? Because that's kind of secretive. Do you guys ever like talk about this on your social media? Do you guys ever share anything? Do you want to take it away, Kate? Do you ever?
Do you
talk
mean
about
do we
that?
talk about
How it's actually done? Like, do you do
the process of recording?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It is fascinating. The process of recording, I don't know if you know much about it, but obviously it's done in Japanese first. So then we go into a little recording studio. Some of them are not so little. God, maybe you're better at explaining. We see the scenes.
Do you want me to take it, Kate?
Kate, when was the last time you actually voice recorded something?
Kate's the
seems like it's been a
workingest
minute.
actor we know.
She's doing a great job, but she's right. You're like in your own little booth that's like a soundproof room.
Yes.
And you can have like a glass window where you see the production team. So it's either the director or the audio engineer or the producers.
I'll just agree.
But you were doing a great job, but they're on the other side of the glass because you're basically in a soundproof room because they don't want to pick up any other noises except what you're recording because they want it to be a clean track. So you are trying to record your lines, but they don't want to hear telephones ringing or people chattering or things like that. So you end up being in a silent box most of the time.
Silent box, and we see the image on the screen, and then it goes beep, 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 and you come in with your line. And you try to get the line to go into the lip flaps that you're seeing. So it is definitely very technical. But I actually always enjoy that part of it. There's something very satisfying about trying to, do you think?
Yeah. So the thing is, like, what I think you guys are both talking about, or I know you guys are both talking about,
You're not sure what we're talking about?
So this is all dubbing work, right? So anime, for the most part, is the original cartoon is already done. When you do an original cartoon, you perform at your leisure, and they have cameras on you, and then they actually use often your facial expressions and your gesture and your inflection to influence the way the art comes out. That's fun and excellent and its own thing. When we do anime, that stuff is already done based on the Japanese actors' performances. And so we have to do our best to fit our performances into a container that already exists. And so the work, like Kate said, the work is, it's still us, we're still artists, we're still acting, we're doing our thing. And there's this technical part of it that's actually kind of pretty tricky and short. We'll do like sort of 8 to 12 seconds at the, 2 to 12 seconds at the most.
He means like a line. That's what 8 to 12 seconds is.
You know,
I did not
something
know
like
that.
And that's all you get to do. So there you go. That's a long answer for a good question.
But what's really cool about it in a way is you are merging this technical, very like strict rule of like it has to be timed out and you're having to match the mouth flaps and all of these things for the one line you're doing at a time.
Yeah.
But you're also merging it with
Your
your
artistry.
interpretation of what you heard the Japanese actor's role interpretation is. You're doing your acting work at the same time you're doing the technical work, and I think that's where the fun is.
Yeah.
Is you're trying to line them.
For
you're
us,
lining
it's
them up.
fun.
Yeah.
There's a lot of actors that
Don't like it.
don't like it at all. They feel too constricted and constrained.
Yeah.
Don't like it equals can't do it.
But I was going to say, it sort of is just like some people are not as good at it. I mean, you have to have an ear, you have to have a sense for timing, you have to be able to sort of think 2 steps ahead. It's a lot to sort of hold in one moment, but I don't know, I sort of like that.
Yeah, but once you get the hang of it, I mean, it's kind of like the whole thing where you pat your tummy and you rub your tummy and you pat
Good
your head.
analogy.
Once you get it,
that's
then
good.
you're like, okay, now I know what I'm doing. But the first few times you're like, what
Yeah.
is, how do I,
Yeah.
but this is all so confusing, and then it sort of clicks.
Yeah, that's true. You know, actually, I have a little funny story about that. I bluffed my way into my first dubbing gig, which was actually on another show called Naruto, But
You bluffed your way onto Naruto.
well, I
Any Naruto
auditioned
fans
for it,
out
but
here?
I said that I had dubbed before, and I never had.
That's funny.
And I got into the room, and at that time, this was like before. Now we mostly do everything on tablets, like iPads.
We had this
At that time, we had these gigantic 3-ring binders,
Binders.
and there were 3 of them in a stack on the floor. There was a music stand, there was a microphone, and there was a television screen. And I walked in, and Mary Elizabeth said, "Okay, so we're going to be doing episode 427 or whatever it was in volume 2." And I was like, "Okay." And I had no idea what she was talking about, but I'm looking around and I'm like, volume, okay, and I pick it up and I'm like, I opened it and I started just flipping and I'm starting to notice episode numbers, and so I'm like, okay, and I find the episode, and then she says something, she says another number, and I see more numbers on the side of the page. That's the line number, and so it was like, volume 3, episode 4, whatever, line 126, and I put it all together, put it up on the thing, and then just said the line.
Way to
and I
go.
got it right, but it was like I
Fake
had
it till
never
you
done it
make
before
it.
that
That's
moment,
right.
and it worked
Yeah.
out.
Good job, man.
Yeah. There you go.
Wow.
And now the crowd applauses.
That's impressive, in
That
case
was
you
your
couldn't
cue,
tell.
Ask another question, we'll answer for 20 minutes.
I think Tara, it was you who kind of talked about, like, you listened to a little bit of the Japanese voice actors. Do you guys, first of all, can I ask all of you guys here, are you Sailor Moon fans?
Yes.
Well, what do you mean by that? I didn't know what it was when I got the audition.
That's what I want to know. I just want to know, did you guys like the series before you worked on it, or you're just like, nah?
I mean, I had heard of Sailor Moon, but I grew up without a television, so like I had never seen it.
And the only reason why I asked that question is because I want to know if they make you watch any of the Japanese first to, just kind of see if you can like mimic the character.
Yeah, I mean, they don't
No.
say, like, they don't send you home with like homework where you're like watching an episode or
Okay.
two. But what they do before you actually say that line, 'cause
Yeah.
you're only doing a line at a time, is they usually play the original animation. They play it so you can watch the scene, but you're not getting the whole story because your character may only have a line to this person, and then a scene jumps to another scene, and
Right.
so it's not continuous. So you don't really understand what the audience is watching as an episode.
Yeah.
You're only getting the line that you're saying at a time.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was asking.
We don't
Just how
know
you
the
guys prepare.
context.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
how you guys prepare for the
It's-
role. Yeah.
So
Right.
it's out of context.
When you're not familiar with the series.
It's out of
yeah.
context. The only way you know what you're saying is because you're reading the script and you're like, "Hey there, honey, come back now." Like that's your line because you're talking. My character Ikuko is the mom, so I'm talking to my daughter, like, "Hey there, honey, come back
Yay,
now."
love
Whatever I'm
Ikuko.
saying, but but like I don't really know what's happening, and you rely on the director to tell you the
Yeah.
circumstance. But they do play you that one line in Japanese that the performer, the actor that had the role originally in Japan, if it's a Japanese animation, has performed. You listen to it, you try to get the tone of like, wow, she sounds really tired. I guess maybe she woke up from a nap or whatever is going on. And then you try to interpret that when it's your time, when they do beep, 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 and then you say your line.
Yeah, this is so interesting. This is just stuff that we don't get sometimes
Yeah.
unless, like, we watch, like, the special features on a DVD or something. So we're just kind of picking your brain a little
Yeah.
bit behind the scenes. So thank
Yeah.
you for sharing
Of
that,
course,
you guys.
of
And
course.
with regard to auditioning for it, like the first
Yeah,
time
do you have
it was
anything to share about that?
they don't play any voice for you. That you walk in and there's a picture of the character and the audition copy, and you just sort of make what you feel.
So it's up to you. They don't
it's
give you
up
any
to you.
direction. You guys get to
No.
create the character a little bit.
And then if they think you match enough with the similarities of what
That's
the
so
Japanese
cool.
actor, or if they don't want to go in this, because sometimes they want it to be very different from what the original Japanese is. And then they try to just see what you're bringing to it and go, yeah, that lines up with what we want for
Yeah.
our American regional, I don't know.
Yeah.
Did you guys know
performance.
this? Because I sure the heck didn't. This is great information, you guys. Michael, you look like you're just taking a back seat for a second. What about you? Like, how do you, like, I don't know, get, like, when you get a picture, what's, like, your thought process on how you decide how you're going to portray a character?
Well, it's all about point of view, right? So the picture is an interpretation of the writing, which is an interpretation of the character, which is an interpretation of somebody in life, like part of the world, part of what it is to be human. So I kind of work backwards from that, right? So I look at the art suggests something to me, and then whatever little bit of writing I see, either as both as description and then the lines that I'm saying, starts to help me to understand how this character interacts with the world, right? How do they interact with people, places, and things? What's their sense of their own status? How do they see their position in the world? You know, are they happy? Are they satisfied? Do they have a chip on their shoulder? Are they angry? These are the jokes, people. Are they angry? Like
I like how you said sense of their own status, because that is a very good way to sum up. You know, like when a director is just giving you way too much information, you just want to know, what is my status? How do I relate to people? Am I subservient? What do I want?
What am I doing?
What am I doing here? What do I want from these people? Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
No,
Carry on.
That's it. That's it. We're on the same page. Yeah, and so with that, it's then, you know, the physicality. Are they big? Are they small? Are they old? Are they young? Are they human? Are they, you know, another species? Sometimes are they? Does gender matter? Does that come into play? And with Hawkeye, there's sort of like a bend there a little bit too. So, you know, what's the appropriate tone that's both respectful and you know, brings the character to life? And so there you go.
I love that. Thank you, guys. So we are gearing up for some audience questions, but I kind of want to ask you guys and get to know you guys a little bit better, some personal questions.
Okay.
So we know Tara's first time in Missouri. So have you guys done anything fun here besides eat a whole bunch of meat?
I mean, the convention is lovely, but usually when we fly in, we basically are working at the convention. It's
So
not
have you
like
guys just been here at the convention like pretty
It's
much?
like being in Vegas.
Yeah.
Hey, I like that we're like kind of Vegas vibes. Is that what I'm saying?
Well, I'm just saying you're just in a hotel conference center for 3 straight days.
Is that
It's
what
like
you do
don't
when you go
even
to
see the
Vegas,
sun.
Kate? Other people gamble and
I
go
don't
out
do
and-
Vegas. I did it once, and it was one time too many for me.
Oh,
I don't know. Are you guys Vegas people? Vegas?
anyone?
See,
Yeah.
not a
Every once in a
ton.
while for a vacation,
A
right?
few. It's not really my scene. But no, we haven't done anything. But I think, I'm sorry, now I'm hogging this
No,
conversation.
do it,
Go
Kate.
for it.
Take it.
I think the city out of my window
It's
on
beautiful.
the 19th floor is very pretty.
Yeah.
Did you see it at night last night, guys? It lit up so
Gorgeous.
beautiful,
It's
and the weather's
lovely.
been nice. Do you guys like the weather?
Love
Yeah.
it.
Oh, it's
What's
so-
that main building with the light, the
The
rainbow
purple?
colored lights?
Oh, the rainbow one. That's the rainbow.
Does anybody know? Because I'm actually not a Kansas City local.
Performance Center. It's
President?
It's
No, that's
music.
the blue one.
the
is
tall one with
The
the,
tall one
red,
had
blue,
rainbow
yellow
I
lights.
couldn't
lights.
tell you guys.
Is it
I'm
the
not
president?
a Kansas City local.
It looks like I don't know, like a main skyscraper in New York.
Yeah,
like
very
it's like-
tall.
The Marriott?
Oh,
The
okay.
Marriott.
That's
Somebody
hotel.
said in the
It's like it had rainbow colors all over it last night. We're
It's
like,
pretty.
it had
Okay.
something. Yeah, it was like out the window you could see this pretty tall. It looks like, I don't know, an Empire State Building kind of building.
Empire State Building.
Yeah,
What?
maybe that's
One
it.
Kansas
One
City
Kansas
place? Is
City
that what you said?
place.
Awesome.
Yeah,
See,
but it
we
was
got
We'll
the
never
local-
forget it.
It was beautiful in one direction, and then the not Sydney Opera House, Performance
not-
Center.
Yeah,
well, I mean,
yeah,
I kind of when I first saw it, I was
that's
like, is
what I
that the
thought.
Sydney
Yeah,
Opera
it's
House? Because it
beautiful.
has like the
Yeah.
fun little.
I'm
Someone
impressed
told
with
me
this city. I think it's quite lovely.
Is it your first time as well, Kate?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Wow.
I grew up in Auburn, Alabama. You know what this city sort of reminds me of? Huntsville.
Yeah.
Huntsville,
Oh,
Alabama.
Wow. Would you guys
That's what
come
it looks
back?
like to me. What?
Would you come back?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
of course
It
I'd
was
come back.
lovely.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back telling people this con was
Great.
lovely. The
Aw.
hotel is lovely.
Hotel's
the
lovely.
people are
People,
lovely.
And the city is clean. This is a very
It's really
clean
nice.
It's
city.
clean.
Yeah.
We
Walking
live in a
around
dirty
last
city.
night.
We live in a dirty city.
Because I
Right,
walked to
Good
get
job,
dinner and it
Missouri.
was lovely outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are
Yeah,
you guys
it's beautiful.
from, actually? Now that I'm curious.
I mean, originally, or where do we live?
where do you live now?
I think we all live in Los Angeles.
Angeles.
You
LA.
guys all live in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Okay.
But originally Alabama. You're
I don't know. Virginia, Oklahoma, Arizona, Michigan, New Jersey, New York. I don't know.
How about you, Michael? Where are you from
I'm
originally?
Boston and Chicago.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
Boston.
Okay, so
Boston.
Halloween's coming up, you guys. Is anybody here really big into celebrating Halloween, or does it just fly by like another holiday?
Oh, no, it's been decorated in my house for over a month already.
Oh, what do you do? Do you have kids?
We have a 7-year-old. My husband, Yuri, is also a voice actor, and here at the convention, but we have a 7-year-old,
That's
and
so
so we've always loved Halloween, but now that we have a child, we are extra Halloween.
So, are you gonna dress up, you and your
We
hubby?
are. It's ironic. We are both on the show Naruto, and our son has recently started watching Naruto. That's something that Yuri does with him on Saturday mornings. They watch episodes of Naruto. And our son has decided he wants to go as Sasuke, which is the character that Yuri plays. So Yuri has to dress as Itachi, and I'm going as a different Akatsuki. So it's very exciting.
You
we
didn't want to be Sakura?
No, because he wanted us to be all together, so I have to wear the, like, it's like the,
Yeah, the blood
little,
cloud.
Oh, okay,
yeah, the
okay,
little-
okay.
Oh, you don't have it on you.
I do.
Oh, yeah. We're all wearing, Yuri and I are wearing the
Got
Akatsuki
it.
robes, and then he's
Got it.
Sasuke. So
Fun.
it's a family costume.
What about you, Kate?
Normally, I am not a Halloween person because I'm too lazy to dress up into anything. I just don't do it.
That's okay.
And my 2 children, oddly enough, they're the only 2 kids ever at the school that they went to, they're teenagers now, never wore a costume.
Wow.
2 boys that just were like, never cared. Never. But this year, for some reason, I ordered a little 70s disco dress and some go-go boots. Because we
Yeah,
got
you
Look at you
invited.
getting
We got
festive.
invited to a Halloween party, and I have a new boyfriend that lives on another continent, and that continent would be over in England. I'm like, is
It's
that
been a
a
long weekend.
continent? Europe. He's coming. He's coming to visit, and I was like, okay, we're going to a Halloween party. So that's what we're doing. 70s. That
Is
was
he
a
also
long
gonna
answer.
dress in the
Oh,
70s?
he's going to be dressed to the nines. He already showed me his costume. So we're
Amazing.
doing it this year. Don't ask me why.
It sounds like you're really excited, though. I just saw your face light up. You're
Yeah.
like, oh my
She
gosh, I'm
can't
actually
wait.
excited.
Because I love 70s music. I love disco music. I love dancing. And I like a cute costume. Like, I don't want to have, like, paint all over my face. I want to be like
Right.
a cute little go-go person.
You are going to be a
Yeah.
cute go-go
Thank
person.
You are a cute go-go person, Kate.
Michael, what about you?
So my boys, I have 2 boys, but they're sort of aging out. One of them is aged out; he's 18 or so, and my other one is 15, and still is fighting the fight. But I think is
He wants the candy.
Yeah. But you talk about. I'm combining an answer to your other question too,
Sure.
which is were we fans before the show? When I first started to learn about this show and Naruto, that Halloween, 2 different people came to me. One person came to my door dressed as my character
Nice.
from Naruto, and one person came to the door dressed as a sailor, not as me, not
But,
as Hawkeye, but as one of the sailors.
Michael, do you know
And
which one it was?
It was only then, because we recorded these shows starting back in the Dark Ages, so it was like you really had to be an anime fan to figure out what platform to even watch these things on. Streamers didn't exist, and even cable stations mostly didn't carry this stuff. So I'd never seen really any of it, but I recognized the characters when they came to the door on Halloween, and thought, we're onto something here. Like, it's got to mean something to somebody somewhere. So I dug a little deeper and started to enjoy both shows.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. So I don't know. Are we ready for some questions from the audience? Let me ask you guys, are you ready for some questions from the audience?
Sure.
Do you
Hit it.
have any requests on what we should not
Well,
ask
I mean,
today?
don't ask us which episode something happened in, because it's been so long since we've all
It
recorded.
has.
I- Yeah.
For us, I don't know when you guys necessarily recorded, but the first season of Sailor Moon from Viz Media came out in 2014, so it's been
a hot
while.
minute.
We understand you guys may not
2014.
know.
Yeah, and I would just like to make an announcement. It sounds sort of sad, but it was the worst era of my life when we were recording this. So it's all a blur to me.
Okay,
I was
I'm
going
so sorry to
through
hear
a
that.
very traumatic, difficult divorce. And it's like someone just came up to me and said, I saw you at the Sailor Moon panel in New York in 2016. I said, I will bet my life I was not there. I have no memory of it. And he showed me a picture
Well, we couldn't tell. Your Sailor Mercury was fabulous.
I don't even know
okay?
how I recorded all of this in the middle of what I was going through. So, yeah, I don't hardly remember anything. But anyway.
Okay,
yeah.
so let's not ask them anything about the show. You can ask them technical questions or maybe even more personal questions like
Yeah.
what's their favorite food. So think of some questions. And if you do have a question, we want you to line up one by one right here by the mic.
Or you can share what you love about it. We're happy to hear
Tell
what
us
you
what
guys
you
We
love.
want to
Absolutely.
hear what
Yeah.
you guys love.
Oh, no, I'm not easy gonna ask.
This is actually a friend of mine. Her name is Mochi. Mochi.
Hi.
Hello. Who do you have a
hello,
question for
testing.
today?
It's more so like for the group.
Yeah.
What I was gonna ask was more so like, have you guys really interacted with the older, voice actors? And would there be like any chance for like a big reunion, maybe on the 40th anniversary
Oh,
of
you
Sailor
mean
Moon?
like when they did the original
For,
record?
Yeah,
from the
like the
1995, they had a
originals.
different cast.
Yeah, there was
If
a
you guys
different
don't know that.
cast. I'm trying to think if I even know who was in the original cast.
I just met a couple at a con.
Yeah, at a con.
Yeah.
And they're Canadian.
Yeah,
Yes.
a lot
So
of
was
them
the
are.
whole cast Canadian? I imagine the whole cast was Canadian.
I'm not sure if they are. I don't think everybody is, but you guys were aware there was an original dub for Sailor Moon in English.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is another cast. That's a good question if they
That's
even
it.
knew about them or if they plan to do like some sort of reunion just, to celebrate Sailor Moon.
Do
the
it.
I
fans
mean,
would
they've never
absolutely love
contacted
that.
us. I'm sure if we heard about it, we could possibly do something. But like, as the actor, we're always the last person to find out about anything like that. Well, we don't know if they're dubbing more. We don't have any of that because we're the last part of the like chain of command.
I
So-
think there's
Use social
something big
media.
that's about to happen, and
Oh,
like
really?
we don't even know about it.
Oh.
Oh, you know.
Oh.
Well,
Say
no,
it.
but
What
I'm,
is it?
I'm
What is
thinking
it?
like, were we all just recast?
Maybe.
Yeah.
You guys,
She's
no
laughing.
comment.
That means yes.
No comment. We
Okay.
don't want to get anybody in trouble today.
Yeah.
We love these people. Mochi, was that anything? Was that
All right,
it?
I'll stay out of it.
I just stepped on the mic. No, that was just mostly it. So if you guys really want it to happen, just make
It sounds like they would
happen.
be down if they were contacted.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
be
I
a
think
part
the
of it.
tricky
Yeah.
thing is if they're in Canada and we're here, they probably keep, they contact those people separately than they.
They're like, if they pay me enough, I'll be there.
Right. But it usually goes to different production studios, so they must have had a Canadian production studio when they originally recorded, and since we were recording through Studiopolis, which
Yeah.
is where we recorded in Los
Awesome.
Angeles.
Well, I'm so glad that you guys would be willing. That's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, hi, what's your name?
Hi, my name's Allie Clemens, but on YouTube I'm known as Sailor Egypt.
Oh,
Hi,
nice. And we got a
Hi.
social media handle here. Well,
Yeah.
nice to meet you. What's your question for the guest today?
I have actually a question for all four of you.
Mm.
What are your guys' favorite colors?
Oh.
Colors?
Oh. Who wants to take that one first?
I'll go with, since I am Sailor Mercury, I really do like blue.
Oh,
All
yay!
shades of blue. Yeah,
Love that.
blue.
I
What
like
about your
so
Tara?
many colors, but I also like purple. Purple's a color that's very like rich and dark.
So I have always. Yeah, yeah. I'm glad you asked me this.
So,
I'm glad you asked me this.
It's like I have a
I-
10-minute answer for this question.
I secretly, I love blue, but my mom's favorite color was blue, and at some point, and like I remember making the decision that I needed to have my own,
you're such a sweet kid.
and so I have forever have been saying that my favorite color is red, which I also really do like. But the truth is, I think I like blue better. I'm telling you
That's okay.
first.
You can like
Right?
blue. It's okay.
You
I
had
think I like
some
blue
mother
better.
issues, just like everyone.
But so honestly, like I answer that question the same way every time. The first time I've answered it from a panel, though, but my entire life since that's probably aged like 8 or so, I've been saying red. But
You're coming back
I think
around.
Michael,
today,
that's
I'm
growth.
starting today.
That's
I'm going
growth.
back to
That's
blue.
okay.
To Dasani blue.
Nice.
Good job. You have your own identity now.
brought to you by.
And what's your favorite color?
What's your favorite color?
Okay, so I actually am very biased, and I think, growing up with the Sailor Moon dub, I love green and pink for Sailor Jupiter. Any Sailor Jupiter fans here today? Woo! Thank you so much for your question.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Shadow, and I've got a question for the group. Honestly, knowing that there were original voice actors and growing up with those, it's really great to see how you guys have just flourished with those characters. But honestly, what was it like going through that and, knowing that it's such a big show and it's such a big thing? Like, how did you feel knowing that you were going to be carrying on that legacy?
I mean, I think whenever you step into a role, especially if you know that they've already done it before, you do feel a responsibility. Like you're aware that there are fans and that they may choose to like what you do and they may choose not to like what you do, but you also have to trust the team. You have to trust the director, you have to trust the producer, you have to trust your fellow actors, you have to assume that everyone's gonna do the best they can. You don't go into a project thinking, well, we're gonna suck. Like, you want to elevate it, but it happens a lot in a lot of different, I guess, series. They redo it. There's a lot of, reloaded versions. They choose to either modernize it a little, even though they can't change the illustrations or the story specifically, but they want to bring it back. They want a newer audience. They want the kids to now be listening to it instead of just the adults or whatever that is. And so it's just kind of how it works. And I think we're all used to either getting recast or being the person who's cast for someone else. And so, I mean, you kind of have to let it just be what it is. You can't take it too personally, but you also want to try to always do your best, I think.
I also think we didn't, at least though I knew about the show, I didn't actually have a full understanding of how popular the show was, which I really still didn't understand until much later. But what they did not play, at least for me, was the original, because the original English dub. They played me the Japanese stuff as a baseline for interpretation, but they didn't play English dub, which I guess was Canadian. And I'm glad they didn't do that, because it would be very difficult to listen to an English language performance and not have that bug in your ear to sort of do an impression almost. But that pressure wasn't there. So it was, when you're interpreting another language as someone, when at that point I'm now cut to many years after that first initial fake out story. Now I've been doing lots of dubbing and lots of looping and stuff like that. And so it became sort of a specialty, if you like, and that is its own thing. And the challenge as an actor is stepping into something new, and it's exciting. So it's, there's always pressure because we care about what we do, and we very much care about, sort of pleasing an audience at some point and so on. But there's also, that's what we thrive on, I think, is the challenge and the thrill of bringing life to something that's out there, in adding our sort of fingerprint to a much larger mosaic.
Yeah. But he's right that it was good that for us that they didn't play the English dub because I hadn't grown up watching the show because, like I said, I didn't have a TV. I knew that it was a thing, but I didn't have a reference, so I was able to sort of make my performance clean. Yeah. Meaning that I didn't have anything else that was like that earworm trying to like emulate.
Yeah. The same for me. I had no idea about the show. They didn't play as a reference. And in fact, when I did the audition, I thought to myself, well, I'm not going to get that because the funny thing is really sometimes just the less you know, much better. I really just interpreted it how I did, and almost to this day, or even in the middle of recording, I kept thinking, what am I bringing to this? But you're not the best judge of what you're bringing to something. It's like the director, the producer, the fans hear it. You don't really hear it. Does that make sense? I'm not expressing that very well.
No, that does make sense. In fact, all of your guys' answers showed me how passionate you guys are. Even though you may have not have been into whatever anime you're voicing, you still take so much care into what you're doing. So we love that. That was a great question, by the way.
Yeah. I always worried, care. Like it can turn into neuroses. Like that's how much I cared. I was like, wait, am I bringing this? And they're like, you're just naturally bringing it. You're bringing your own sensitivity to that. You can't be a judge of what that's like.
But when you auditioned, did you audition for all the sailors, or did they just have you audition for?
Ooh. Not all of them.
Because they had me audition for several of the sailors, and then I didn't get any of the sailors. But Ikuko and Kaolinite are a little more in my wheelhouse. So.
Which makes you sort of. I'm sure that the directors and the producers have an idea
Yeah,
of,
yeah.
oh, we know this person's voice, have her audition for this one.
Yeah.
Or maybe 2. I'm sure I read for like 2. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we take a lot, we care. We
can
really
tell.
do care. Even though it seems like we don't because we can't remember anything, we really care.
When we're doing it, we're focused on it. It's just, you know,
It's your
been
whole
time
world.
and it's,
While
you know.
you're doing it, it's everything you care about.
Yeah, and I can say personally for myself, I loved the Viz dub. I kind of left the old dub behind because it was inaccurate. They westernized it. I was over that. So I'm so glad you guys brought a true Japanese version with their names, and I hope you guys
Yeah.
all here are fans of the Viz dub. I'm assuming you are if you're actually here supporting these people. So please do some woos, do some claps for these wonderful people who brought these characters so much life and so much passion behind the character, even if they didn't know much about them. So thank you so much. We'll take another.
As someone who was skeptical starting out when hearing about all of the recasts and Crystal and everything,
Same.
you guys have done such an amazing job.
Oh my God, I love
Thank
that
you.
because a lot of the
Thank
fans,
you.
criticize this because they're so blinded by nostalgia. And I, for one, I'm pretty big in the Sailor Moon community. I don't know if you guys know me, but I am always telling people you cannot judge the Viz dub by one episode. You have to watch an entire season. And all of you guys,
Yep.
now I know Kate Higgins out of everybody, is there for every season, and some of you guys aren't, but you guys grew into your roles so beautifully. Like I always vouch for you guys every time I get people to buy the DVDs and support the release. So
Thank
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ooh, we got a cosplayer here.
Oh, yes,
Hi.
beautiful.
Hi. So is this your own personal Sailor Guardian here?
It's Sailor Moon Knight.
Oh, Sailor Moon Knight! It's that is awesome. A little collab
Yes.
between the Moonlight Knight and
love
the Sailor
mashups.
Guardian.
Yes.
What's your name?
My name is Elisa, and what I wanted to ask is, as a voice actor, you guys go out and you do all these conventions, you meet all these people. What are some of your have been your most interesting convention fan interaction moments?
Great question. Well, can I just share that yesterday? Wait, did you say interesting moments?
You said interesting.
I said interesting can mean a lot of things.
Yeah, so to me, it's just the personal connection. And I was really sobbing with a girl yesterday because when people tell us how much our characters have, I rushed home to watch Sailor Mercury or to see soccer at 3 o'clock after school, and, I was bullied and this got me through. I could cry now. That's why I come to these conventions, because, we sit in a room with a glass thing and we don't know what's going out in the world, how it affects other people, and it just feeds my soul. Yeah, so I don't know if that's interesting, but that's sort of everything.
But there's different, and there's different kinds of interesting. Like there are those really deep personal connections that are just lovely. But then there's also silly ones, and then there's people who want you to sign body parts, and there's a variety. We've all been doing these conventions for a while, and so you do, at each convention, you have a wide range of interesting moments. So some are heartfelt, some are silly, some are awkward, some are, it's a variety of things. And I just think that, what Kate was saying is it's just so nice to be able to be here and have those personal moments. Whatever color it is on the interesting spectrum, it's a personal moment, whether it's silly or awkward or funny or whatever.
Tara, I feel like you have an interesting body part.
I have
story.
signed
What's
some
the
interesting
weirdest
body
one?
parts.
What's
think
the
we've
weirdest
all
body
done
part?
it.
It's not
You've done it
easy
too.
to do
Yeah.
because you're trying not to touch anything that you shouldn't touch, but you're trying. When we sign, we often lay things out so that they're flat, so
Yeah.
it's easy to sign on. But you can't flatten a body.
And
so
and hair makes it tough too. Arm and leg hair,
yeah.
and then belly hair.
Yep.
I love signing body parts, and I also yesterday actually I had someone come, and I was so touched. This guy came, and his only name that he shared with me was Sonic Hammonds.
He came
And
over.
yeah, he purchased he bought an 8x10, had me sign it, and then he said, "I want you to give this to the next person who comes through.
He had you sign it.
And didn't. And
He did a pay it forward, but I waited to sign it for the person that then came up next, and I signed it for them.
He didn't tell me
Oh,
before
he
he
just-
did it,
yeah.
and so then I did it, and I mean he must have been doing this all over the place.
Yeah,
then.
he did a
But
pay it forward for me
but see,
too.
this is, I mean, you guys know these aren't free.
No.
And I was so moved by that, I gave him a different one, and then I just asked him to hang out at the table with me for a bit until the next person came
Oh, he
through.
got to see that. Oh,
So
I wish
he
he
got
had stayed
to
at my
hand it
table
in.
too.
Yeah, so he got
Because
to
the other
hand it
person
to
was
him.
so excited. They're like, "What do you mean?" I'm like,
Yeah,
"Someone paid
they
it
were
forward."
totally incredulous. I didn't believe it, and it was so sweet. And yeah, I mean, just what these two have been saying is that it is incredibly moving. As actors, I could cry right now too. There we go. Wow. As actors, you know, we do this stuff because we love it, and we do this stuff because it feeds our souls to express ourselves as artists and so on. And you dream about it when you're a kid, and you start to do it, and it feels like a gift, and all of that is happening. And we want to reach people. We want to sort of move people. We want people to experience what we've done to contribute in some way. And having that reflected back to you it's a surreal experience that is like, it's overwhelming sometimes, because the gratitude, honestly, that I feel as I'm saying this is it's enormous. Yeah, and it's that we get that. I get that. I mean, I'm getting it right now. It's like I fill up with the sort of the love that's somewhere in the universe. I feel like I get a little slice of it every time I do one of these cons, and you're giving it to me right now. So thank you.
Well, thank you all. I obviously love Sailor Moon, and I love all of your work. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm going to introduce Kay. This is one of my best friends. We actually bonded over Sailor Moon in high school, you guys. We graduated in
Amazing.
2006. Kay, what question do you have for them today?
Okay, so I'm hoping I'm not talking too loud. I can barely hear. So we know Kate enjoys 70s and disco music. What kind of music do you guys enjoy? That's why I can't hear right now.
Okay.
So I was at a concert last night.
I like a lot of different things, but
That's
there is-
good.
One
Variety
of
is
my favorite
good.
bands is called Katzenjammer,
Okay.
and it's an all-girl band from Norway, and they're super fun. And my husband, for a surprise birthday, took me to see them live in concert in Europe. He flew me to Europe to see one of their concerts because I adore them so
That's
much.
awesome.
Before they broke up, because they split up. But it was the best concert I have ever been to in my life, and it had every age. There were 6-year-olds and 80-year-olds at this concert, and the women are such talented performers. In the middle of one of the songs, they started throwing their instruments to each other, and they each could play what all the instruments were. They all switched throughout.
That's
So
awesome.
look up Katzenjammer. It's Katzjammer, Katzenjammer.
Oh,
I'll
you'll remember that.
definitely check that out.
And they're so much fun, and they're just super talented, and they have really fun, uplifting, cool songs, and their vocals are great, and they're just fun and great.
I love that.
I'm definitely
Music
gonna check that out.
recommendations from Tara Platt today.
Yeah. I grew up. I was a deadhead for a long time, and so on any given moment, you'll hear Jerry Garcia sort of warbling out of a speaker around me. But I'm a big like alt country guy, and sort of kind of singer songwriter, guitar rock. So I love Wilco. I just saw Wilco.
They're still alive.
Just in the last little while, in the last couple of weeks, I've seen Modest Mouse, Wilco, and the Postal Service, which is also called
Oh, that's
Death
so
Cab for
cool.
Cutie. Yeah, all those guys.
See, I just saw Pink in concert.
Nice.
That was
That's
pretty
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That was a great question, you guys. We have a couple of minutes left. We'll take one more question, which is this fellow right here who would like to line up. Hi, what's your name?
Hi, I'm your friendly neighborhood computer otaku. My friends call me Tono. My wife calls me Ridiculous.
I love that.
Hi, Ridiculous.
Hello. So, more of a like voice acting kind of question here. Say someone was to get, their reel kind of put together. They get in front of directors. They do the auditions. Would you say it's more common that they would get a more prominent role in something, or do you think that they would more commonly, based on, if it's their first time getting something, getting more of a background role?
I mean, it's all just luck of the draw, because like he said, he sort of faked it till he made it when he went in and sort of was like, I know what I'm doing. I mean, you never know. And if they just happen to go, this is the sound we're looking for, if you can do a good job, I mean, I hadn't done a lot of work before I got Tamari, and Tamari's a pretty big role. So like it isn't necessarily, although nowadays there's a lot more voice actors than there used to be, but it's just if you are the right piece that fits into the orchestra that they're looking for the sounds of that show, there's no reason. I mean, every voice is an important voice, and every voice is a possible choice. And so it isn't necessarily just how much work you've done, but I will say work begets work, and connections help, and all of those various things that we know, but you know, it's nice to have that, but it's not necessary, because we all started somewhere. Like, we all
There's
had our
always
first...
somebody that books the job that you're like, I've never heard of them.
Yeah, there's new people all the time.
Big jobs.
Yeah.
You know, if the voice is right, they'll pick you.
And to go along with that, though, too, so anything is possible for sure, and also just to clarify, though I faked it till I made it.
I know, I was like, that doesn't rhyme, but made it.
In the room there, you know, I had been a professional actor for 15 years already before I really started doing voiceover. So the only reason why I say that, I teach as well, and it is never too late, and it is never too odd to fit in and find your way into the orchestra, as Tara said. I do think that being ready when the opportunity arrives is what it's all about, and the readiness depends on a sense of confidence and understanding that comes from experience, sometimes in the form of classes, sometimes in the form of theater, sometimes in the form of television, sometimes in the form of just reading. But whatever it is, do the thing you're doing right now and keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it. And then when you get a swing at something that feels more significant to you, you'll be ready to hit the ball. And that's, I think, it's totally about that. Because it's true, it does. Nobody's looking at a resume, honestly, anymore when you read for something. In fact, in most stuff that we audition for these days, they ask us not even to slate our name.
We're not saying our names.
You don't even say who it is. So they listen blind, and they just want to hear the sound and the interpretation of the text. Like, you know, so there's the acting component is what's critical, and that comes from knowing how to do it, and that can come from a lot of different sources.
Are you an aspiring voice actor?
I sort of. I've kind of done a little bit. Friend was doing a Minecraft competition kind of thing amongst some of our streamer friends.
Nice.
And he tried to work in a storyline of this administrator kind of putting the whole thing together. And so since I was doing the initial editing before they reviewed kind of the footage and the scoring for the week, I got to add in stuff. And so for Halloween last year, I actually made a Halloween episode with a special appearance by the administrator, which they were not expecting. So that was kind of fun to kind of
That's awesome.
spring something
the
on them.
administrator.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Hooray for the administrator.
Tara and Yuri have a book.
Called The Administrator.
It's called Voiceover Voice Actor.
It's on Amazon?
It's on Amazon, and now the extended edition is out. So if you're going to read it, read the extended edition because it has more information. It's more current, but you can get it at your library, maybe, depending. Some local libraries have it, but it is on Amazon.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
You guys, that's it for this panel.
Thank
Thank
you
you guys
guys.
so much for coming. Please support
Thank
Planet
you so
Anime next
much.
year. Do you guys have any goodbyes you would like to say to this wonderful audience tonight? Today.
Just to say that I'm grateful and thankful and so happy to be here. Thanks, everybody, for coming out.
Thank you.
And we hope you've had a great weekend.
Yeah.
We hope you have. And I'm coming back to Missouri because I like it.
We like it.
Woo! Thank you so much, Sailor Moon fans. You guys are awesome, always showing up for Sailor Moon. We're going to keep it around. Thank you so much. Have a great day.